War Machine is the latest Netflix original film, and it's written and directed by David Mitchell, and it stars Brad Pitt. This movie tells somewhat of a real story, and it's set in the war in Afghanistan in 2009, and it is the exploration of a born leader's ultra-confident march into the dark heart of folly. This is both a drama, but also a very savage parody at the same time, and the movie really goes between those lines throughout 2 hours. Brad Pitt plays this successful, charismatic 4-star general who leapt in like a rock star to command NATO forces in Afghanistan, but then he was slowly taken down by a journalist's no-holds-barred expose. I really enjoyed the trailers for this film, and I have been more and more a fan of the Netflix original films, whether they are great or not. I like this take that we can get original films, original stories, just like we get in theaters, at home, on streaming services. And getting Brad Pitt and his production company for your film is not a bad idea. And I think Brad Pitt is great as this character. He really is uber charismatic, not only because he is Brad Pitt, but because he is playing this character and he plays him really well. He really has this very good camaraderie with his soldiers. He creates good relationships throughout the film. You can see how much he loves his soldiers, how much he loves his men, but you can see how much his men love him, and you can see why they love him, why this is such a good leader. There is so much explored about this character that you can clearly see that this man naturally is a leader. He feels like a leader. He has this poise and posture about him that really makes him feel like this grand person on a higher plane of existence that really should be your leader and you should follow him. And he does go through a lot in this film. Whenever this movie approaches drama, it does approach it well, and this guy definitely has his personal problems, his personal demons, and his personal motivations for wanting to command these forces in Afghanistan. Brad Pitt is also damn interesting because he has this demeanor about him. He has this sly, very exuberant and confident poise about him. He has that feel, he has that vibe throughout the film, and his name is McMahon, and he definitely has some resemblances to Vincent Kennedy McMahon. And after seeing this film, Brad Pitt is damn good in it, and I would love to see him play Vincent Kennedy McMahon in a film. There are definitely resemblances there, more than apparent, more than obvious, and I wouldn't be surprised if I ever found out that Brad Pitt actually studied Vincent Kennedy McMahon for this role. And he is both a follower of the rules, but he also likes to break them every now and then. He has this saying about how a good leader really follows the rules, but a great leader knows when to break them, and that really applies to this film, because David Mitchell really proves that sometimes he breaks rules. And that doesn't always end up well. David Mitchell is also a great director who directed Animal Kingdom and The Rover, two fantastic, intense thriller dramas. As I said while I was summarizing the plot of this film, it is both a drama but also a very savage parody. And as I said, the drama is tackled well. The savage parody is tackled really well. There are moments in this movie that I cracked up laughing. And it's not bad comedy at all. It comes from the situation that the characters find themselves in at different points in the movie. It comes from the nature of the relationship between each and every man. It comes from the places and the times and the mentality of these soldiers, both as soldiers and as men, as people. But the movie never stops feeling like it's two different films, and recently I've talked about this in my Alien Covenant review. The movie never stops being a mash of Prometheus and Alien. However, those two films have something to do with the other. They are not completely different tones of film, nor completely different films. This film is two entire different takes on the same story, and that becomes really egregious at points, because there are times in this film that they really ask you, and really well, to feel for Brad Pitt. And if you take a look at the isolated scene, it really works. But that scene is in the context of a movie that has made you laugh, a movie that makes fun of itself, and a movie that makes fun of itself in the scene immediately after the one where they basically asked you to be so sorry for this dude and for his struggles. And again, while that works on the context of single scenes themselves, if you put the whole puzzle together, it doesn't really mesh well, and it's contrasting to an unnerving degree. Also, this movie is dead slow, and I'm not even talking about action scenes. There is one action scene in this film, and it's about 5 minutes long, but I'm not even talking about that. It's not that a war movie needs action action scenes. Look at The Imitation Game. Great, excellent war film. No action scene on that one. Yet, in War Machine, this movie, for the first hour, I swear to God, no exaggeration, maybe even 1 hour and 10 minutes, it seems to be people meeting in rooms and discussing what they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it, where they want to do it, where they want to go, who they want to take, who they're going to bring into the war to fight, and it seems like it's the same discussion over and over again, the same planning and strategy, only with Brad Pitt meeting with several different people to talk about the same shit. He talks with his man, he talks with his superiors, he tries to talk with the president, he has someone really yelling at him because he did something wrong or wants to do something wrong, he goes back to talking with his men, and then the process repeats itself. And it really becomes irritating because you are interested in this character, you are interested in his men, you are interested in their struggles, and you want to see stuff happen. But in a movie, you don't tell stuff, you show it. And it takes a really damn ass long time for this movie to show things happening. The movie also has this annoying narration from a very good actor who I really love, and I was so happy to see him in. I'm not going to spoil who he is. There's this narration that I kept thinking, I know this voice, and then when he shows up, I was like, yes, that's him. And once this narrator shows up, you have maybe 2, 3 more scenes, quick scenes might I add, where he narrates just one quote or two. He narrates it in the end again as soon as he actually shows up on the frame. The person himself, once he shows up, the narration goes. It's bye-bye. And he's not even in the movie, he shows up in one scene, the scene is over, he's not there anymore, and his narration is as well gone. I thought the cinematography worked well, I thought the score worked well. As far as visuals and sound, the very sound design of the movie, it's all good, it's all fine and dandy. It's just the structure and the way they told the story is just very contrasting. At too many points it drags, it doesn't seem to go anywhere for the longest time, and the end just feels too abrupt, even though the very last scene is very good and again makes you laugh. There are just 2 very different takes on this one story that maybe if they were 2 different films, they would have worked fine. War Machine is not a bad film, but I was definitely excited about it. I'm definitely a huge fan of Brad Pitt, and I want to see him in more movies. But War Machine, unfortunately, is just meh. Whether you watch it or not, your heart will go on. What did you think of War Machine, my beautiful geekies? Do you know of this story? Do you not? And let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite war comedy? Don't forget to also check out the link in the description below for the Beautiful Geek Community Facebook group. The link is in there as always. And once more, thank you so much for watching. You guys are the freaking best. I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Tomorrow I will return with my review for Captain Underpants. I can't believe I'm watching that. Fuck. And so until then, you stay beautiful, you stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and the bell so you can be geeky united!